Okay, so in this question, it's about time and it's about percentage. Jenna is training for a half marathon. On her first run, she ran for 1 hour. On her second run, she ran for 20% longer. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about this hour in terms of minutes. Oh, because for me, that's much easier. So 1 hour is how many minutes? Yeah, 60 minutes. Now, you know, thinking about 20% of 60, that's too hard for my brain. What I do know is 10% of most numbers, because to figure out 10%, I just have to divide the number by 10, right? So if I've got 60 minutes, what's 10% of 60 minutes? So 10% of 1 hour is 60 divided by 10, so it's going to be 6 minutes. Yeah? Now, how is this going to help me solve this problem? Let's read the problem again. Jenna is training for a half marathon. On her first run, she ran for 1 hour, which is 60 minutes. On her second run, she ran for 20% longer than her first run. On her third run, she ran for 40% longer than her second run. Okay, so we're going to have to figure out how long the second run was first. Okay. So first, I might just make a bit of a table here. First, second, third. Whoop. Thanks for your patience with my slow writing on the computer. So we've got our first and second and third run. The first one went for 60 minutes. 60. We're going to have to maybe convert this to hours later, but we won't worry about that just yet. The second run is 20% longer than the first one. So it's going to be 60 plus 20% of 60. Now I know that 10% is 6 minutes. So this is going to be 60 plus 2 lots of 10%, which is 20%, which is also 12. Yeah. And that equals 72 minutes. We can convert this back to an hour later if we have to. All right, so let's get the second run. We figured out is 72 minutes, which means that 10% of that is going to be 72 divided by 10, which is 7.2 minutes, I think. Oh gosh, I don't know now. 10% of 72 minutes is 7.2 minutes. That's a bit tricky because time isn't in base 10. All right. So this is going to be 72 plus, because 72 is the second run. That's how long it was. And then we need a plus 40%. So 4 times the 10%. So what's 4 times 7.2 minutes? Well, we know that 4 times 7 is 28, and 4 times 0.2 is 0.8. So it's going to be 72 plus 28.8. And then we add those together. Well, I know that 72 plus 8 is 80, plus 20 is 100. So actually we've got 100.8. 100.8 minutes. So our answer is going to be some kind of decimal. All right. Now, if we want to convert these back to hours, so let's just say that this is in minutes. This is the run. And this is our hours. We had 1 full hour. Then we had 1 hour and 12 minutes. because 60 is 1 hour and then we've got 12 left in the 72 there. And then we have, well, what would 2 hours be? 2 hours would be 60 plus 60, which is 120. So we don't have 2 hours. We've still got 1 hour, but we're going to have more minutes. We're going to have what 60 plus what equals 100? Well, that's 40. And then I suppose we could just go 40.8 minutes and see if we get a, I mean, I don't know. We could probably work out, because that's not a full minute. That's 5/5 of a minute. We could probably work that out, but to be honest, I can't really be bothered. So I'm just going to leave this for now. Maybe maybe we can work that out later together. So what have we got with the question? How long did she run for on her third run? Well, on her third run, she ran 40% more than the second run. And we've worked that out to be 1 hour and 40.8 minutes. And I think that's a pretty good stab at an answer. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to, on the calculator, just to check we have a reasonable answer here, I'm going to go 60 plus 20%, and that gives me 72. So that's great, which is what we got for our second run. Now I'm going to go 72 plus 40%, and it's given me 100.8. So that's really good as well. So our calculations have been right. And then 1 hour, 40.8 minutes. So there you go. I think we look, even if the answer isn't in the perfect format, I think we've done a lot of really great mathematical thinking here. And if this was a test or an exam, I feel like we should at least get 90% on this question. So that's my 2 cents worth.